Buongiorno ragazzi! Good to see you again, Chef Peppino here. Hope you're doing okay, looking very fabulous today. Very excited today because we're going to make frittata. Sì, frittata. What is frittata, you ask? Clever human, you always with the good questions. Frittata comes from the word fritta, which means fried. So this means any ingredient we have, we're going to fry them in the pandula, and we're going to add some eggs into that. You're very clever, I know you guessed that. And then we're going to make more of a family style omelette. And the difference between frittata and an omelette is that the frittata is both cooked on the stove top and then finished in the oven. I'm going to show you what I like to do, just to finish the top to give it a nice crispy texture underneath the broiler. But before we get started there, this is such a good base recipe for healthy lifestyle. Anytime you don't have an idea of what to make for dinner, for lunch, breakfast, look inside of the fridge, look at the vegetables that you have, and then maybe with the eggs that you have too, you make yourself a nice healthy meal that tastes good all the time. And for many families, the frittata is all about using what you have on hand to create a quick, healthy, very delicious, very emotional meal that is good for you and that will taste marvelous and really highlights the flavors of just your average mundane ingredients that you find in the fridge. Allora, andiamo, let's get started. Okay, so ragazzi, what have I found in my fridge? I found some lovely smoked pancetta. This is going to be very beautiful when we caramelize it for the base of the frittata. You will see we have some beautiful cremini mushrooms. We have some spring onion, marvelous. Some zucchini, classic. Some pomodorini, handful of little tomatoes here. Some red bell peppers, nice and bright and sweet. And beautiful trees of asparagus. Oops, come here. Beautiful. This is really, it seems like my fridge is saying goodbye finally to summer as we approach autunno. And we have some nice spring summery flavors to throw into the frittata. We have nice sweet peppers, tomatoes to balance out those earthy mushrooms, zucchini, and we have another bright lemony asparagus and green onion. I almost want to play a song with this one. Always it feels good to me in my mouth, these flavors. Allora, what we want to achieve is we want to cut the vegetables all into the same size so that everything cooks evenly and is done at the same time before we put our eggs in the pan. So number one, we're gonna chop everything up. Let's get started with the pomodorini, why not? Very easy, very quick. Just slice them up. And remember, keep those fingers away from the knife, the knuckle onto the knife. So that way when you're handling these little slippery buggers, your fingers aren't going to slip under like that. You don't want to do that. You want to keep those fingers tucked in and the knuckle touching the knife, as always. Fundamental technique. Okay, pomodorini done. Bell peppers, why not? Why not? These ones are pretty big, I'm gonna slice them in half. And very easy to take out the seeds. You just get it with your thumb, go in and take the seeds out. And ragazzi, I want to emphasize the ingredients that you have are to be touched, are to be felt, are to be understood. How does it bend? How does it break? Does it rip? Does it crack? Does it change the texture? Don't be afraid to touch your ingredients, really get to know them, okay? This is one principle I want to understand no matter what level you're at. I think we can all understand these ingredients a little bit better with our hands. Allora. Now the beautiful zucchini. Take the head off. I have my garbage pail over here, the good mise en place practice to get into. And now the beautiful asparagus. All I want to do is chop off the butt, because it's a little bit rough. And these asparagus I want to keep a little bit al dente, so they're gonna have some texture. Again, same size as the zucchine, pomodoro, and the pepperoni that we have. Bene. Where do you think you're going, little guy? Stay there, man. A little bit of a crowded board. Give yourself some space, just safer when you have space. So Peppino, not really being too wise right now. I think a very good technique for the cremini is to just take the stem out, okay? Chop up the stem, and then you can deal with the bulb, and you can chop it up a little bit thinner so that it's nice and even afterwards. You really shouldn't be intimidated by these little guys. I mean, look at them go. Soft. And they are friends for sure. Va bene ragazzi, I am officially sweating. This is a great workout for Chef Peppino. Just chop, 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 chop like I'm a John Bonham or something, you know. But we have our lovely siblings of flavors right here. How about we get started with cooking frittata? What?
Ciao! Here we are at the pan. What I'm going to do first, heating my pan on medium heat, and into the pan all of our pancetta is going. Why no olive oil, you might ask? Because this pancetta is the fat. It will be the fat that cooks our vegetables. So our goal right now is to render the pancetta. What does render mean? Render means we're going to melt the solid fat into a liquid which will then cook all of our other vegetables and ingredients. No pancetta? No problem! You can use any fat you like. Usually I use extra virgin olive oil anyways to fry, to saute, but in my fridge today again I had pancetta, so it will be a nice taste. After 10 minutes the fat is rendered, it's a good amount as you can see, and the pancetta is seared and caramelized. Now I'm going in with all of my vegetables. Make sure you don't crowd the pan, okay ragazzi? You want all the vegetables to touch the pan so they get beautifully caramelized. A little bit of salt, just a little bit, because the pancetta has salt. A little bit of freshly ground black pepper. And we're just going to let this cook all together. Again, caramelize these ingredients. It's not so much of a fry as it is a saute. Going in with all of my ingredients, making sure they're touching the bottom, not crowded. A little bit of salt for my asparagus, and I'm going to cover them up and cook them for about 10 minutes. Onto my eggs. Beating up my eggs, I have about 7-8 eggs here. And to these eggs, I'm going to season them with Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. What this is gonna do is gonna give it a nice, strong, sharp flavor. And at the end, when I put it onto the broiler, this cheese, we're gonna say hello to him once again. We're going to crack a little bit of black pepper into our egg mixture, and again a little bit of salt to season. Not too much because the Parmigiano Reggiano already has a bit of salt in it. So we're mixing it all together, get it incorporated. Now back to the stove, ragazzi. Here we are. Our vegetables are nice and soft and caramelized, and we're gonna dump all of our egg mixture into the pan so they can all get to know each other and develop very close bond relationship. Just mixing the eggs around so that they are nice and evenly incorporated and touching the bottom of the pan. You can use more eggs if you want to make more of a cake, but today's a little bit more shallow, as again, what I have in the fridge, this is what I had in terms of ingredients and in terms of eggs. So just making sure that the bottom is cooked, again, direct heat on the pan, not worried about that one bit. But now, since the bottom is cooked, on the top, a little bit more Parmigiano Reggiano before I send it into the broiler. And look at this, a little bit of ricotta I had in the fridge, almost done. So we're going to put that lovely bit of milk ricotta on top of the frittata, and then we're going to throw them under the broiler for about 5 minutes, and that ricotta and that cheese is going to get lovely, crispy, caramelized. My goodness.
Va bene ragazzi, bravissimi! Wasn't that fun? Wasn't that easy? Wasn't that life? I'm not gonna be a hero and try to flip this whole thing out because it's a quite shallow frittata that I made, so just going to use this spatula and put it onto the plate, and then we're gonna go over there and serve it together. Ragazzi, thank you so much for cooking with me today. Very excited to taste the frittata with you, but I'm just very glad that I could share this recipe with you. A recipe that my grandmother, my mother always made for me, and I know many families have their own traditions with this recipe, and I hope you can start your own tradition based on the way I showed you today. Remember, any ingredient goes, any combination, any imagination that you have, incorporate it into your cooking and have fun with it. But now is always the fun part, the tasting part. I have my frittata here. I create a little bit of toast for myself. Some warm toast is always very nice. I'm a big fan of the pumpernickel. It's a very, very good toast. And real quick, what I like to do with this frittata is serve it with a quick salad. I'll show you how to make it in 2 seconds. It's literally just arugula from the garden. I like it nice and peppery. What's up, Doc? What's up, Doc? Looney Tunes. Anyway, a little bit of olive oil. A little bit more. A little bit of lemon juice. Just a little bit. The arugula is already very lemony and peppery, so the lemon goes good. And then just a little bit of kosher salt. Beautiful. Mix it up with your hand. Don't be afraid to get to know the ingredients. Massage the ingredients a little bit. Tell them that you love them. And here, right on top of the frittata, I'll try to not hide all of the golden bits, so show you. And here we have it. I love that arugula, so fresh, lemony, peppery. I'm sorry, Peppino needs to have a snack right now. Va bene. There's the frittata. It's not beautiful, I know it's in that forest of arugula, but you can see it's so beautifully caramelized on the top because we put it under the broiler for a couple of minutes, and we have that little layer of Parmigiano Reggiano and the ricotta to just really warm it up, bring its milkiness out and its flavor out. We have nice lemony, asparagus, sweet red bell pepper, the spring onion, zucchini. The mushroom is really it's an ode to the summertime because we're approaching fall, and it's saying goodbye to all of those lovely ingredients from the garden that we get in the summer, and we're welcoming some new lovely ingredients for the fall. But let's taste, okay? My forchetta. Cannot forget the forchetta. Va bene. Little bit of the arugula, little bit of the frittata. My friends, I apologize for the chew, but that is the asparagus, lovely al dente, definitely some bite to it. It's fun for the mouth, trust me. Beautiful flavors, some sweet, some earthy, and some to tie them together. So my friends, try the recipe by yourself, have fun with it, and until next time, Chef Peppino says, Ciao Ragazzi!